So 3 Tarsak 1489 in Candlekeep. And as you all know, Candlekeep is the largest library in the Sword Coast, where it houses most all of known knowledge and books from ages past and maybe onto the future. But our story begins inside one of its various hallways and rooms. We see 4 individuals who are helping the Avowed. The Avowed are the monks in Candlekeep who manage to sort the books, sort all the scrolls and the spells needed. And this Avowed is just named Mark. Mark just goes and looks at all 4 of you and just says, "Remind me, how did we meet again?"
Well,
I don't remember.
of course, Urtek. You don't really remember much, do you? Well, we did find each other through a series of rather, I suppose a great word would be misadventures.
I think we found him in a hole.
Hole?
Or something like that? Right.
Yes, I do
Right.
remember a lot of holes.
And when I hear the word holes, I just punch a hole into the wall.
Oh yeah, the barbarian.
And
So at this, I like, all right, Smack, calm down.
and as a hole has been punched in one of the walls of Candlekeep, Mark also just explains, Moonstone, your friends care to manage their temper, and you could see him wave his hand and the hole punched by Smack just gets repaired. And Mark just continues, yes, so we have a lot to do today. And you could see just from behind him, there are piles of books that haven't been stored properly and also scrolls. And Mark continues on and just says, so each of you would take a stack and just file it. One corner would be the deities of Faerun, the other side would entail lycanthropy and the transfiguration of humans, and finally the third one is the origins of the Silver Moon. So pick a stack and sort them out. Yeah.
All right. Well, how about for you, Urtek? Why don't you find you can focus on the books where you can see a lot of werewolves and just pick those out, okay?
Werewolves?
Yes, that's right. So I just hand him over like a book and then point a drawing and then I tell him, that's right, just focus on these books and put them up on a pile.
Doggies.
Doggies, yes. Very smart.
So Doc is already on the way, just while the conversation is happening, like showing doggies, just immediately goes to lycanthropy area for like the rest of the books there. It's like and like starts looking around like interesting. Yes. And like kind of just looks into like how transforming things work. If ever there are like books on alchemy, that he's also like touching those. Not like less to organize, more just like making a little bit of a mess. Just looking through all of that shit.
So as you, Doc tries to open or reveal one of the scrolls regarding alchemy and other information, Doc fails to open the books. It fails to even unravel. And Mark comes over his shoulder and looks and tells Doc, well, you are quite a curious one. And I am sorry, but you need proper clearance in order to open the books or open scrolls. Just head on to sorting them. No peeky eyes.
But she got to open the book to show that werewolf. Why don't I get access?
Because she only has a picture of a werewolf and not the contents inside of lycanthropy. Two different things, Doc.
You never know if they can just remember any random little sentences. There, all of that information is very crucial. It can be used for a lot of different things.
Yes, that's what they all say, and that's why a lot of people try to make their way inside Candlekeep, trading us with various books and knowledge that they seem we don't have a copy of, just to take a peek on what we hold. And Doc, don't ruin my trust. I vouched for all four of you to come inside here just saving my life, and not even in exchange of a book or knowledge inside these libraries. So, get to it. Start sorting.
Grumbles. Kept them in the hole.
How about Smack? What pile are you planning to sort on?
Nothing. I just sit in a corner.
Ortok probably is gonna do the same. As soon as Moonstone points at an illustration of a werewolf, I just
Doggy.
and I just read through one of the books trying to find more illustrations.
And with that, everyone could roll perception for me.
5.
22.
Yes. So, as everyone is doing their own thing, Moonstone, after you sorted one book, you see this purple book, and in it, it has this golden unicorn. A purple cover, golden unicorn with gold calligraphy. And written on it in Elvish says Lore of Lurue by Ekame True Silver. And interestingly enough, this book is not sealed.
Can I flip through the pages of this book since it's open?
Okay, so as you turn to the first page, it's just blank. And once you open the first page, Mark hears the page, like the book open, and he goes over at Moonstone and says, "What do we have here? A book that isn't locked. Have you read anything on it, Moonstone?"
Well, the first page is empty. Not much, really.
Then he holds your hand and closes the book cover once again and says, "Maybe wait till I get back, and maybe we might seal this." Curious eyes, you don't want to be like Doc, trying his hardest to open sealed books now. I'll be back. So as Mark leaves the book,
You said with no one, why you leave first of all?
and you are all by yourselves inside. Moonstone, roll me another. Give me an arcana.
24.
As you close the book and as Mark leaves all four of you alone inside the library, you sense the book suddenly flip open once again, back to that empty page. And then it just suddenly shows like the first line saying Malar and Saloon in Elvish. And then suddenly, like by magic, it flips over to another blank page. And then that blank page suddenly gets filled with some Elvish words. It just suddenly reads, Lurue is the daughter of Saloon, lesser deity in the form of a unicorn, mistress of the moonlight. Saloon is the goddess of the moon. Lurue loves the forest. She is made guardian of the forest by Maileki, the god of the forest. This is the lore of Lurue. And then suddenly, like a bright light emerges, and all four of you like just get sucked in into the book, and everyone falls in this like foresty region. It's filled with trees. It's filled with all these vegetation, and who you make your way, try to like make sense of everything. I want all of you, as you, all four of you, are trying to get your bearings up. Roll me another perception.
Peeking up from like now empty hands, like trying to peel open the box. Where? What? And then tries to. Yeah, is there any kind of like fey, trace, undead, fiend? Yeah, fey, fiend, undead.
Okay, so for Doc, you brought like this book from Candlekeep before you were sucked inside. Your book in your hand suddenly vanish, and then you could sense in your general vicinity that this is indeed Fey lands. And then as you guys, with your perception, you're making your looks around, seeing, you could see the sky. Suddenly, there's a sound of thunder, and then followed by a red flash of lightning toward the southern part. Through the lightning, the red lightning bolt that flashes through the sky, Moonstone and Ortak, you could hear just right below from where you are. If you go down the steps, you could hear noises, bottles clanking, hooves on the ground, and some slight whispers.
Moonstone, I'm scared. I'm hearing voices.
So at this Moonstone's ears, she tries to pick up the sound even better, and she says she like gives a comforting pat to Urtak, and she says, There, I'm sure Smack here will protect us. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's only the dark and the unknown that's here.
The dark has many friends. You're like friends.
I've had friends, but they're all dead now.
It's alright. We're your new friends, Urtak. And that's why we're here.
Okay, so I move towards the tip of the cliff, towards the shadows of the people. Then I raise my axe and I go,
And down below, suddenly, like these three creatures look up, and one of them just speaks. On the big folk! On the big folk! And then raises this glass, and then drinks. Then waves to Smack to come down from there.
Moves to Smack and just casts light on his axe, and then I tell him, careful now, Smack. Wouldn't want you to trip over your axe there.
As Smack reaches the bottom, Smack, you see three satyrs. You know, one of them is blackout drunk, the other is already drunk, already puking, and while the other is just tipsy enough. And the one that's tipsy enough speaks to Smack and just says, "Unta big folk, jatalmes demand fe are drunk, demand need utasen plate home, please list femda."
Smack! I grab his cup and take a sip from his cup.
And you also drink this strong wine. Smack, roll me Constitution saving.
While that's
Shut up,
happening, we're more curious now than scared. We're just gonna try and peep through by the edge and watch.
Smack doesn't get drunk with the wine that is given. and you practically enjoy the drink.
Smack.
As Moonstone and Ortak make their way down in the side, looking at Smack drinking, enjoying the company of the three satyrs, the tipsy satyr looks over and just speaks, "On the big folk company?" Then he waves gestures to Ortak and Moonstone to come down.
Throughout all of this, Doc is just like looking like around as to where they are, if ever there is any like sort of interesting herb or something is going to pick it up and shit. But like is going down nonetheless, maybe slower than the rest. What
Okay.
language are they speaking?
Okay, before you go with the language, as you're making your way down as well, and you're observing the trees, roll me a nature check, Doc.
18.
Okay, with an 18, as you're making your way down toward Ortak and Moonstone, you notice that the trees are seeping out some sap, and you know that these sap from these trees have this healing property, and this reminds you from your ventures that this is a Myliki tree from the god Myliki. It suddenly dawned to you that you are in the high forest.
While they're going down, I want to like swipe, picking up some of that, like taking some of that sap, and then going down. It's like I could use this for
So,
a couple of things.
So as you make your way down as well, you hear them. You're making your way closer to where the satyrs and the rest of your companions are. You could hear them speak like onta, and then there's like demand and need, and that language.
Speak Sylvan.
Sylvan, you speak? Who speaks?
Yep, me.
Moonstone?
Moonstone.
Oh, so
God
once
damn.
that was good. So once Moonstone went down, the first satyr who's tipsy, just speaks once again. On the big folk, Jatalmes demand fe are drunk, demand need untasen plit home please lis femda. And as you hear Moonstone, it just translates you to common, as for everyone would know, just says, "Oh hello, big fellow, my friends and I are drunk and need to get home, please help us."
Moonstone, she just like laughs a little bit, and then she asks, "Well, where is your home? You see, we're not too familiar with the woods here."
And this semi-tipsy person, the satyr, suddenly picks up and responds to Moonstone as if in uncommon and says, "Ah, interesting, someone knowing our language. My name is Tragos, and this right here, the one dead drunk, is Artelio, and the one puking is Funagi. And yes, we have been drinking because we've just killed a raven coming from not from these lands. I suppose this is a raven, a minion of Malar." And then as he says that, you all hear again another thunder and then red lightning streaking across the sky toward the south. And Tragos just goes, "Oh, we are too drunk. Does your friends speak Sylvan as well?"
So, do you guys? So I just ask them.
As soon as I hear Moonstone start speaking a weird language I've never heard of, I'm gonna,
Smack. They're doing something to Moonstone. Smack.
Smack.
Like at some point, like after, like okay, Doc is gonna just shake his head no, and then look to Moonstone, and then look back to the satyrs. They are able to say names, right? did we hear Malar?
Yeah, I heard Malar.
Yeah,
And Targos continues on with Moonstone and asks, so are they able to understand Sylvan, or are you the only one who speaks our language?
Well, it looks like I'm the only one here who can speak Sylvan, but would you happen to speak in common for my friends over here?
And Targos just continues and says, I can speak Elvish, and that's the best I can do. Sylvan or Elvish is only I have been taught growing up.
So I look at the party and then I ask, well, can anyone here speak Elvish?
Smack.
Nope.
I answer in Gnomish. No.
Well, I guess I'll be the translator for today.
Targos continues and just says, yes, I am in no position to lead through the high forest because I have drank a lot of fermented Maleki sap. Maybe you four could lead the way to lead us back home to the town of Polvarth.
So at this, I start like translating for the party, and I just like tell them that, oh, these people are too drunk and they just want to go home and they're asking for our help.
What do we get out of
know
it?
You're not bad guys.
Oh, Ortak, I don't think they're bad guys.
What, you won't eat Moonstone? I know she looks pretty tasty.
And you could just see Targos's head just like twitch and trying to decipher what Urtak is saying, and Targos just like puts out like from his pockets some wine, fermented wine of Maleki tree, and just like gestures to Urtak and the others who don't speak Sylvan, you know, to like drink, gestures, drink, in the hopes that this is meant to find that they are not harmful or mean ill will toward the party.
Reluctantly, Urtak grabs it and drinks from it. Just a sip.
Roll me Constitution saving.
Ah!
Constitution.
It's a little boy,
Oh wait.
little orc child. Kailangan natin ng
Rolled
ano,
an 11.
smacktionary.
With an 11, Urtak, you love the drink. You love Maleki fruit wine. But then you suddenly felt tipsy, you know. You felt
Moonstone,
it's a little bit
I
too loud.
like it, but I think they're trying poison us.
But this Moonstone just goes, it's alright, one sip won't hurt.
I
Okay.
grab the cup from Ortak and then I drink the rest of it.
Roll me a con save. Wow, Smack, you love this drink and you're not getting drunk at all. And Targos, seeing Smack finish this whole bottle, speaks at Moonstone and says, if they want more in Polvart, we have more.
Well, it might be great to go to the town. After all, we do have to find our way out of here.
Can I just look at this alcohol and see if there's any sort of something to it?
Okay, roll me nature.
10.
With a 10, you observe with your best of your abilities, and you just know that this is like your typical ale alcoholic drink used on celebratory occasions.
Okay, like pockets one, almost takes a sip of another, looks at the big people who did take a sip of it that look fine, looks at his own size, pockets that one, continues onward.
Targos, as he is being lifted up by Smack, looks over at Moonstone and just says, is he gonna try to kill me? I'm afraid. I'm getting scared. My hangover is suddenly. I'm getting sober a little bit with this.
Oh no, he's a gentle fellow. So I say that a little carefully. But don't worry, we just want to make sure you get back to the town in one piece. Moonstone casts light again, but this time on her hammer, and she nods to him and says, "Well, why don't you point us to the right direction then?"
Then you could see Targos nods. So as you make your way through this dense, thick fog of the high forest, everyone roll perception. With disadvantage, since this is thick fog.
11 for me.
16.
Damn, girl, your perception checks. Disadvantage, yeah? You
Yes.
got an 11.
Yeah, I got an 11.
Oh, disadvantage, sorry.
Yeah.
13 for that.
Okay. So with that, as you are making your way through the high forest, suddenly Urtak and Moonstone hear some ruffles by the trees. And you could hear like snorting sounds.
Urtak has been anxious the entire time since we've come here. So I'm just I'm carrying this guy on my left shoulder, and my right hand is just caressing my boomerang, gripping it rather.
So at this Moonstone looks at them and puts a finger on her lips to tell them to keep quiet.
So as Moonstone moves forward, and you could suddenly see a little bit clearly, you see like these humanoid werebores trying to sniff out, their potential prey.
Pull out both of my crossbows that have like these syringes that are up in them as ammo, and like kind of set one on fire and the other like ice cold.
And as Moonstone, sees a clear vision of these werebores that haven't seen you guys yet, Tragos, whispers at Smack's ear in Sylvan, saying, "These are Malak's minions." Smack, you could sense that he is trying to cowl in fear and hide, behind one of your thick fur cloaks.
I just tap him on the head. Oh, smart. I point to the shadow and then to the guy. I go, smack. Then I raise my axe.
And Tragos just nods and tries to speak in common. Smack. Just go smack.
I charge towards that guy. I just hit him with a great axe. 25.
Okay, roll for damage.
15.
Whoa! I
Okay.
forgot we're level 8.
As Smack charges across and hits the werebore and whacks him with his great axe, one of your axes, or one of its tusks, hits Smack's arm. And Smack, roll me a Constitution save.
23.
With a 23, you shrug off this like flesh wound. It just tore small skin on you, but didn't penetrate deeply. Okay, next one to do your surprise round.
So I already have both rights on my crossbows, and like another set of like needles and syringes just goes into like his back. So like before it was the arms that's bloated as fuck. Now like the legs just start tearing at like his pants, just growing in size, like filled with this muscle and sinew. And just I'm gonna use my bonus action to use another mutagen, so I get a +3 to my dex, like max, and oh boy, I'm at 22 dex.
What?
And then use my actions to shoot shit. Shooting the one that's like with flames. Let's see. 15th to hit.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
8 piercing, 2 fire.
Okay. Which one? Was it the one in front of Smack or the one in front of Moonstone?
Probably like the one in front of Moonstone. My other hand crossbow to shoot this glowing blue vial of just cold onto the other one, the one in front of Smack. 23. That's good.
Okay.
9 piercing, 4 cold.
And this other werebore just suddenly, has a little bit of ice in the other werebore after hitting by the crossbow. Lights a little bit with fire, but also suddenly the fire didn't last long enough.
I rolled a 14 to hit.
Okay, that one hits. The second blast hits. Roll for damage.
That's a 9.
Okay.
9 damage. And then for my second action...
This is the one in front of Smack, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's my second action already. Or I'll try to move forward.
Okay.
I'm assuming we're half speed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm carrying this guy, so... That's... This is 2 steps, right? Itong square na to.
Hmm.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I'm going to attack the one near me first. So at 21.
Okay, that's a hit.
So that's 9.
9 points of damage.
Yep, and then I'll be using my
I already placed a spiritual weapon beside your character right there. Like a floating sword.
So I'll cast that.
You could see like your spiritual weapon of this sword, as the spectral sword flashes to the side of Moonstone and zips toward the nearest werebore and slashes with 6 points of damage. And that comprises all your surprise rounds. Moonstone, top of the round, and then Smack, you're up next.
Okay, let's cast Sacred Flame.
I'll let me roll my dex save for you guys. There you go, that's an 18.
Then I guess for my bonus action, I guess I'll just use this spiritual weapon. So that
Roll to hit again. So the spiritual weapon deals another slashing damage toward the boar. And Smack. Look at that. The spiritual weapon did its job. Smack, you are up.
So I'm going to try to grapple pin him to the tree. 11.
There you go. So you managed to grapple and pin the werebore to the tree with all your might.
So I'll attack him with a one-handed weapon bound. A hand axe.
Okay.
Smack. 19.
That's a hit. Roll for damage.
9.
That would deal 9 points of damage toward that.
For my first action, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast. 13 to hit for the first and 15 to hit for the
Okay,
second.
both blasts hit.
Oh,
You could split it between the two, or you could focus all 2 blasts to 1. Your call on where you put the damage.
Oh yeah, I was gonna split it.
Okay.
for both.
Okay, roll for both damage. For the first one.
First one is 6. The one near Smack.
Okay.
And second one is 1 in front of Moonstone.
Okay.
For my second, I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration towards Moonstone. And you hear Ortax sing,
Let's go down to business to defeat the bulls.
Oh.
And you get 1d8.
Which one's been damaged more?
The one smack is grappling.
Gonna keep shooting that one. First one with the fire one. 19.
Okay, that's a hit.
Another 9, and then another 4 fire.
There you go. And you could see this wereboar bleeding profusely in one of its left sides.
30 to hit.
That's a hit.
Nice.
11 piercing. Oh, this one's not having a good time. That's unfortunate. And 4 cold. I do have a bonus action. I have crossbow expert. Just like
Nice.
rapid fire, just like shoot like one syringe then another. Gonna go for the one on Moonstone
Okay.
with the fire one. 24 should hit. So I'm just gonna. That's 10 piercing and please roll faster. 3 fire.
There you go. And after the rapid fire crossbow hits the wereboar in front of Moonstone, it's the wereboar's turn now. So the wereboar now, the first one, hailing its maul and trying to use its tusk, attack Moonstone with its big giant hammer.
Ooh.
That's an 18. So the first roll of the maul for the wereboar, it misses. So Moonstone dodges it, and for its second, it's gonna use its tusk to try to pierce Moonstone.
Ano yung AC mo, Moonstone?
19.
And does I think this one hits the tusk.
Yeah, that one hits.
That one hits, and then Moonstone, you take 10 points of damage.
Here comes the trauma, people! Joke.
And Moonstone, give me a Constitution saving throw.
A 10.
So with the 10, after the tusk hits Moonstone, you could see one of your arms bleeding from the pierced, from the tusk of the wereboar. And then for this reason, you feel certain interior of you change. As you could see above you, the moonlight suddenly leaves the cloud cover, and you are starting to slowly turn into a wereboar. You already have been cursed by the lycanthropy of a wereboar. So for the next wereboar, it will try to break free from the grapple of you. 21. You can resist.
Awesome.
Roll me strength. Your strength plus your modifier. You know, the wereboar tries to break free, but you manage to hold on. But in front of you, it has its tusk, and it tries to pierce you in front of your face with its tusk for its second attack. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And you take 12 points of damage. And roll me another Constitution save. With a 10, you also feel the urge of transforming. You have also been cursed with lycanthropy. Moonstone, you are up. Roll me a DC Constitution saving.
Oh, pala, no!
The moon is up tonight. And with a 15, you control the urge to transform. You could do your action.
Inflict wounds.
That's a hit.
Big hit. Let's go!
Roll for damage.
5d10, y'all!
You know, big damage. 21.
Oh?
That's actually really bad considering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled
5d10!
But
That's less than half!
yeah. But that's more than enough as well, because as you inflict wounds, the initial wounds cut by the sword of the boar, and as Moonstone casts inflict wounds, you could see this gaping hole suddenly becomes bigger and more blood spills over, and this boar is now bloodied. It's on its last breaths.
For my bonus action, I'll just use that.
Your spiritual weapon. Another 9 points of damage given to the wereboar. It's still standing. Your cut of the sword makes it cut. It bleeds as well, but this wereboar is really tough. Smack, you are up. Roll me a DC Constitution saving. So with a 14 smack, even with the moon up, you control pretty good on your transformation.
I'm gonna enter rage.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go with gonna enter frenzy na rin.
Okay. Big damage.
3 attacks yun, so I'll just do 3 attacks. 18.
That's a hit.
Smack. Okay, so 11.
And
Bonus action frenzy.
mhm.
9.
Oh, with a 9? No, that misses. But nevertheless, even by the time you swing your second attack of your great axe, you just see this wereboar just fall to the ground and die.
So mag-extra attack ako dun sa werewolf sa kabila.
you make your move. You make your move. You run toward. You have your movement pa naman eh. Yeah. So yeah, make your your other one. That's a hit.
21.
Okay.
There we go.
10.
Okay. How do you want to do it? Smack.
Nice.
I'm going to just cut it in half and then grab the intestines.
Okay. As you killed the last one, and you are now once again alone in the forests, and Targos still a bit tipsy. Thanks, you all. Yes, I think you've met Malak's minions. The ones that we killed earlier were also the minions, but only in Raven. They've come into the forest recently. We don't know why. That's why we're trying to make our way back to Polvarth to inform our father about this disturbance. Is anyone hurt?
I'm gonna go up to one of them, like slightly taller and bigger from like the toxin still in my body, and just like kind of just check out those wounds.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for smack because that's a lot more surface area. Like, okay. What do I do for that? Like,
Or you could roll me a nature or survival.
why they look like that? Just in general, like that's not how a wound is supposed to look.
So with a 16, you notice that these obviously are not your usual wounds. And a closer look, you could see like these deeper sparkles of this red substance covering the wound. It's fully closed for both Smack and for Moonstone. But for Doc, you see like these are like almost like red particle sands covering the wounds. And as Doc is observing Smack and Moonstone, Tragos, speaks and says, "Those are wounds not from this realm. They are inflicted by Malar's intentions. It's hard to cure, but maybe with the sap of this Myliki tree could ease the pain and maybe lessen the suffering."
The only thing that came up from that is my leaky. I would
Yeah.
assume.
But
Until
Moonstone, yeah, you
translate.
could hear that. Yeah, Moonstone, you could hear.
translate everything. So at this, I ask, what do you mean? Not from this realm. I do feel a little bit different, but is there anybody in your town that can help fix this.
Maybe we could, if we reach the town where we are in Polvarth, maybe our father may be of guidance. For now, this my licky sap maybe could ease the pain and maybe prevent what you're feeling inside.
So I just like I nod my head and is that like a flask? Or...
No, it's from the tree sap. I know,
like,
from the
I
tree,
spread
if
it.
you find, like a peanut butter jelly kind of thing.
Ew! I lick it. Joke. I put it on my. I put it on my wound.
Yeah. Doc also has some. I mean, Doc, you got some before
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
it, right?
How
So-
much? How much did I get?
I just got like a good three saps from 3 trees. And if you all want to know, drinking a Maliki tree sap, it would heal you 2d4 plus 2. And per sap,
Oh,
in a sap tree, you could drink it 4 times before the tree gets dried up. For
Yeah, but how much?
for Doc, you have like 1 whole tree, so that means 4 drinks. You may basically
yeah.
have four potions.
okay, so I heal 9. There we go. Ah, that feels much better.
You rolled max. That's nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Smack,
Max
you could.
plus one.
You also have apply Maliki sap on your wound, and that's also the amount you roll 2d4 plus 2.
Smack.
While they're doing that, I'm going around just trying to collect as much sap as possible. It's like, okay,
Heal 6.
let's go then.
Okay, yeah, that. So Doc, you could roll me nature or survival check. You try to get random saps from random trees. You don't know what, but you have 4 unknown vials, untested,
Shit.
unproven.
No. Oh boy.
Natural 1. Gotta love that. I am
And-
going to just put one of those saps. Like how I'm gonna do this? Because I have like a bullshit ton of stringents. I put one into like a needle and just shove it into me. See what happens.
Okay, you could roll me a D100 then.
80.
Yeah. So with 80, as you inject yourself, you like this rubber band tied your arm, and you flick it a little bit. You see the vein pop out. You inject it with one of the random vials that you got in the high forest. As you inject, everything you see is blue, and you feel your legs wobble, and your movement speed is cut to 1 feet. And after Doc injects you.
Thursday. May I perhaps have one, Mr. No?
Well, this one of. Oh my god. That doesn't feel right. Okay. Which one? Give me a color.
I just
I don't
open
think
my
I
hand and I drink
Okay.
whatever Doc gives me.
Okay, since Doc, you can't see the colors, only blue. Urtak, roll me a D100.
39.
Okay, with a 39, you manage to grab one that Doc randomly gives you, and thank God, it's one of Maliki's saps. So Urtak, you take a drink and you gain 2d4 plus 2. You heal up. You got refreshed.
Thirsty.
Considering everything is blue now, can I tell which is which?
You can roll me another nature. With a
no.
9,
Nine.
you're trying to approach this certain tree, but Trago suddenly cuts in front of you and just offers you this. For you, it's almost gray, but for the rest, it's a yellowish, a sticky goo, almost like honey. And Tragos just puts this goo in the mouth of Doc. You get to heal 2d4 plus 2 since Tragos already willingly gives you a Maleki sap. Because what you are approaching initially was a deathberry tree.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. Okay.
And Tragos just looks over and just speaks so that Moonstone could also hear and says, I think we have to reach farther. Trekking here too long in the high forest, your companions might end up dead. Or even
I'm
worse.
I'm already going to another tree. It's like, what are all of the effects? Like, as he's telling Moonstone that.
So Tragos, after Moonstone explains to everyone, Smack, Tragos approaches you and requests you to pick him up so that you could continue on your journey toward Polvarth. And thankfully this time around, the moon is hiding behind the clouds, and upon hiding, you once again hear thunder sounds and a red lightning streak across the sky. And after a good 2 hours, an extra 2 hours of walking, you now see a giant tree in the middle. And the fog slowly lifts up, and with the bright lights of the green tree in the center and some gemstones, you now arrive in the town of Polvarth, and that's where we take our first break.